So we're just about to get started doing some seed starting around here, but I have a lot of I have a ton of seeds. I mean, I've been saving seeds for 10, 15 years. I've just got so many loads of seeds in here, ones that have been purchased, ones that I've saved over the years from heirlooms. But I have a lot of old seeds in here, and I want to try and see if they can actually germinate. So I've got stuff from 2013, 14, 15, 13, just all these varieties that I love, but I hadn't grown them in a couple of years, a while, and been able to save seeds. So I have all these old seeds. I want to be able to grow them. So I want to do a little germination test on those. So I'm going to show you how I do those. I have some real nice varieties here. Sweeties, blueberries, Amish paste, golden sunray, one of my favorites. But my all-time favorite is the Woodle orange. So I'm just hoping and praying that these are going to germinate, because I can still get them probably, but these were some true to variety, very good seeds that grew some real nice tomatoes. I saved them from just the biggest, best, nicest tomatoes on there. Let them get super, super ripe, almost rotten before you save these seeds. And so I have some real nice, large seeds in there. So I'm going to show you what I do to just try and give them a little germination test and see if they're going to pop. If they are, even if they're down to like a little 10 or 20% germination rate, I'll still just use a bunch of them in there to try and get some to grow, and then I'll just save the new seeds from that. So let me show you how I go about doing that. All right, so let me show you how I do my germination test on some of these old seeds. So I've mixed up some of my Maxi Crop liquid seaweed, soluble seaweed, in the solution that they call for, which is a teaspoon per gallon. I just have a little cup of it, a little thing of it here. Pretty thin. It looks like just watered down iced tea when it's made properly, or at least for per direction. So I'm just going to take a paper towel. I'm only going to do this to about 5 or 6 seeds, just because I don't have a whole lot. And like I said, if I do 5 seeds, if I just get like a little one pops out and I got a 20% germination rate, I'm fine with that with these old seeds. I'll just plant a lot of them to get some plants out of it. I'll just be happy to have those seeds. So we're just going to wet down this paper towel a little bit with that liquid seaweed. This is a great solution to moisten seeds and to germinate seeds in your germination medium, my cocoa coir mixture. So then I'm going to grab a handful of seeds. Right now I'm going to be doing these Woodle orange from 2015. I'm really hoping these are going to germinate, because I have a couple hundred of them here, but that is just my favorite tomato. It was given to me by a neighbor out west. He bought a little 25 pack from, at the time, rareseeds.com, and they've had them and then not had them, and I think they got a batch of some kind of not so true to form ones for a little while, but so these are mine that I've saved, and I know they were good, so I want these to germinate. So let me grab a couple of these out of here, and I'll show you what we do. All right, so I got a little handful of them here. I'm going to try and take, just as we always do, the best ones that I can find out here, but I'm just going to drop 5 of them on here for now. Well, we got 6. There's a couple stuck together. So let me put these away, and I'll show you what we do with them next. All right, so we're going to take these now. Just fold them over here, and just make sure they're making good contact with the wet paper towel. And then we're going to get a little baggie. I'm going to mark an individual baggie with it and put it inside of there. So here's what we end up with. I just have a little snack baggie with a moistened towel in there with the seeds. I got a marked Woodle orange, 5 seeds from 2015. And then these are going to go into, I'm just going to put them in a little envelope here to keep them dark. But you can see I've got all my other ones that I've done up in here. I've given each one its own little individual bag. marked what it is, what year it's from. Some of them were new, but I just wanted to make sure that that's going to germinate too. I just kind of wanted to know if that one's going to do, but the rest of these are all old ones, 2013, 14, and 15. So, I'm really hoping that these are going to germinate. These are now going to go onto my heat mat inside. So they're gonna sit there just like my regular seeds would when I'm germinating them on that nice heat mat. They'll be dark inside here. I'll check them every few days, and I'll get back to you guys and update you on what's going on with them. All right, so it's been a week, and we're going to take a look at these old seeds that we're trying to germinate. These are seeds that I was saving way back when I first kind of started saving seeds in the early, well, I think my oldest ones in here are 2013, just some 2013s, 2014s, 2015s. But they're just ones that are from varieties that I really love. So I just wanted to see if I could still germinate them so that I could just use some of these old seeds. I know they came from good plants that had good production, good sized fruit, healthy plants, just ones that I want to have those genetics moving forward. So I kind of did a little test, and we'll see how they went. So these have been sitting on the heat mat for 1 week. So you saw how I did them. I put them in a little liquid seaweed wrapped in a paper towel, all labeled up. They have been sitting on a heat mat every day, 24 hours a day, in this little dark envelope for 1 week. So we're going to crack into these and see if any of these have started germinating. I'm excited to see how they turned out, because there's some of these that I really love, like this little orange. If you haven't tried that one, you got to check that tomato out. Hopefully I'll have a good bunch of seeds from these and might be able to do some giveaways to give away some of these. There's another one in here called the Golden Sunray, another orange variety, super sweet, super citrusy, really, really nice tomato. So there's a bunch of them in here. I'll come in and give a little close up and we'll see what any of them did. Okay, so keeping in mind that these are only 1 week into germination, I mean, that's pretty much almost standard for a new seed. So I'm expecting at least a 2 week germination on these. These are old seeds. I mean, you see 2013s, 2014s. I mean, I'm expecting at least a 2 week time period to germinate these. I mean, that's what they always say about old seeds. I haven't done this test that I'm doing right now on these real old seeds. So, that's just kind of what I expect. Some of these, it might be nice if they're starting to crack open, but these are old. These are 10 plus 11, 12 years old seeds. So we'll see what's going to happen with these. So let's start checking these out. This is the Golden Sunray from 2013. Oops. So pretty much nothing on that one right there. Nothing so far. Not totally disappointed yet. Again, this is literally 1 week. So we'll see. We'll keep following along with these. Woodle Orange from 2013. These are starting to do a little something. Sorry about that. This little guy, if you can see if I can get close enough on that. I don't know if that'll focus in or not. But he's got a little tab starting to come out of him there. This guy up here, if you can see that. Let's see if I can get down this on there. There is a little node coming out of that. So I'm stoked. 1 week in, a Woodle Orange seed from 2013 actually germinating. That is pretty cool. So in addition to these being old seeds, I took good care in picking the right seeds. And what I mean by that, where I waited till these fruit got so ripe that they're almost rotten on the vine. That's what you have to do with fruit when you're saving seeds. You can't take seeds from a partially developed fruit and expect a good germination or expect a good adult plant afterwards. You need to let that thing hang on the vine till it's literally almost rotten. Those seeds need to be fully mature to get good germination and grow a good plant afterwards. Woodle Orange 2014. Did we check that one already? I don't think so. Let's see what we got here. I don't. This little guy down here, he's got a little, he's breaking free down there. This guy up top here is also trying to keep it in the light. I'm sorry, it's in like a funny area of the screen, but it's just not good light right here because my camera's blocking the ceiling light. So, a couple cracking open on that one in 1 week. So that's awesome. I'm just excited to see what these are going to be like in 2 weeks, because if I can get a good germination rate off of these old seeds like that, that is awesome, because I have hundreds of these, which is great. 2015 Woodle Orange. Yep. This guy down here is starting to pop open. Trying to look in the light here. This guy in the top right is kind of starting to do a little something, so love it. And again, the liquid seaweed, the Maxi Crop soluble seaweed, awesome liquid for helping you germinate, whether it's little seeds like this, doing a test like this, or soaking your seeds in overnight, which is what I'll probably do with these old seeds before I try and actually plant them in soil. Amish paste from 2015. Not much of anything going there. Yep. So top guy up there. Oh, come on. Let's get us some focus, please. Little bit happening there, not much. Apologize if the camera's shaking a little bit. It's on a not the most stable platform right now. All right, copias. Ooh, this has some darkness to it. Or maybe I had a little soil on my finger or something. Let's see what this little dark spot is in here. So that guy is starting to pop open down there in that bottom area right there. This guy is also up in the top. Apologize if that's not focusing. I can't tell if it is or not. My hand looks focused. All right, so I mean, 1 week, I'm already getting kind of a 40% germination rate on some of these. 12, what is this? Oh, this is 2020. This is a newer seed here, so I expect better on that one. We'll see. Cherokee Purple from back in 2014. Gosh. Can't tell. Almost looks like that one's trying to do something right here. This bottom one has the edge kind of popping open on it. Come on, Mr. Focus. There. That bottom one has the little, I forget what that little area is called on there. This guy is starting to do it too. So that little, well, the section of the seed that opens up first, don't have a name for it, but sometimes on pepper seed, you see people actually cut that little edge off to help germinate. I've been seeing people do that as of recently. Haven't tried it, but that little area is like starting to break open on some of these. Very cool. 2013 Brandywine. Yep, this bottom guy's got a little something going on there at the edge. And this guy is starting to get a little something coming out of the top edge there too. So 1 week in, 23, 24, 25, 12-year-old seeds. So I did a pretty decent job of saving these seeds. I dried them out super well, stored them in airtight bags, kept them in a dark closet. I didn't refrigerate. I didn't freeze. I know a lot of people recommend that, but I did not do any of that to this. And these are 12-year-old seeds still germinating. But again, got to have well developed seeds. All right, so the last few here, we got some Brad Gates blueberries. These were ones that I didn't really know if they were hybrids or if it's just selective breeding that he's done with these to create a lot of these varieties. So I started saving some of his seeds a while back, and I've regrown them, and it did grow back to the true form of the blueberries. I did get some that were more red. Now, when you pop the little stem off of it, you can kind of see where the sun didn't hit and create the anthocyanins, that it was red underneath. So I had a variety that turned out red, and some that were a little bit more orange. I like the red ones better, so that's what I saved the seeds from again. So this is the Brad Gates blueberries. That little top middle guy there. See if I can get closer. That little top center one's got a little bit popping out, as well as that bottom center one too. So good, good. That's a great variety there too. A little bit on the tart side for me, but I still really like them a lot, especially with the purple variety. So the Sweetie, that's an heirloom cherry tomato style. My favorite cherry tomato is the Sun Gold, but it is a hybrid, so we have to buy seeds for that each year, which I don't mind. I just bought like a 100 pack from Johnny's a few weeks back, so I'm set on those. But this is a nice heirloom variety that you can save seeds from. So let's take a look at these. Boy, they're tiny, but that top center one, I believe, has a little bit starting to break open on it. Looks like it, but we'll see. Again, I think I have a purchased bag of these also from a couple of years back that are new, so I will have this variety. Oh, got another one right here. We'll check the 2014s. And these are just the ones that I put in. I may even have newer ones that I've saved, 15s and 16s, but I'm just trying out some of my oldest stuff here. Oh yeah, that guy in the right there. Opening up a little bit. Can't really tell in the others, but that guy for sure is starting to pop when he's got tiny little white starting to come out of there. That's so cool. Old seeds. So what's that? 11-year-old seeds right there. So don't let anybody tell you that your 2-3-year-old seeds aren't good unless you just stored them incorrectly in a hot, sunny, dry area. You know that, or not dry. Dry's good, but not hot and sunny for sure. Gold medal, another great. I believe that's an heirloom variety. I think I originally got them from Baker Creek. I was actually given the bag from somebody, and they were great. They were like, when you slice it open, it's kind of swirled red and yellow. It's a real nice tomato. These are 2014s. Oh yeah, the little center guy right up there. See that? This bottom one has a little bit of something to it too. It'd be neat if I could actually get the focus in there. Hopefully that is. Yeah, and this top left one too. Very cool. 2014 seeds. 2014. So that's neat. Again, this is only 1 week into 12, 11, 10-year-old seeds germinating. So I'm sure we're going to get even a better rate than all of these. So put them all back in, put them back on the heat mat, and we'll check on them again in another week. All right, so we're going to get back to the old seed experiment. We're probably almost 3 weeks in now. I had to go out of town, so they kind of got left alone on the heating pad, probably cooking there at 85 degrees for a lot longer than they should have. So I've kind of gone through them already. So a mistake that I made is squeezing out all the air out of all of these, because you could see where they started to crack open and grow, and then they just molded. If there was some air in there, they probably got a little oxygen in there, they probably could have grown. So most of these all had at least one, if not two, kind of popping open, which tells me, that's a 20 plus percent germination rate, which is fine with these super old seeds. These have some better germination rate, but that just tells me on all these varieties, just plant heavy and I'll get them. Again, these are way back in 2013, 2014. You can see that dark stain in there. That's where it germinated, and then it literally just molded right around there because no air, wet, it just wasn't a good combination that way. A few of those did that. So got these to germinate a little bit. I won't bother opening them all up, but I'll show you a couple that did do well. What is this, a 2015 Woodle Orange? Again, my favorite all-time tomato. I'll open these gently because some of them were kind of tearing the little growth. Hopefully we can get a good focus. I'm going to come in close. Hopefully it's focusing, but you can see those little guys in there. That was 4 out of 5 right there. So happy about that. And especially that it's my favorite tomato, germinated the best. So that was a 2015 seed, Woodle Orange. Another Woodle Orange here. Let's see what this one did. I think a couple of these had a few. This guy cracked open. You can see kind of on the edge where hopefully that's focusing. I apologize if it's not. But some of these started to crack open there, but they just didn't really have the ability to grow inside of there. So germination is germination. In soil, I'm sure that would have popped open and come out of there. So that's good too, especially as my Woodle Orange, my fave. The Golden Sunray, my second favorite orange tomato. Again, I think this one suffered from the lack of air inside the bag too, but yeah. You can see where these guys actually popped open there. A few of the other ones cracked open and then just started to kind of rot. So they, germination. We're talking a 2013 seed on that one. So if you save them right, if you let your fruit get super, super ripe on the vine, almost rotten, do the fermentation method of getting the seeds all cleaned off, dry them out real well, store them real well, then they will have some germination of some old seeds. Here we go. This little guy right down here. Some of these others might have started popping open too. This guy, you can kind of see the edge of it there, but so that one is the gold medal, which I'm really happy that one germinated too. So we got a pretty decent little germination rate off of those guys. Okay, so that wraps up the old seed germination experiment. What we learned from that one, leave a little air in the bags so when they do germinate, they can grow and not just mold. Don't leave them on the heating pad for 3 weeks unattended and let them roast there. But it did show that old seeds can germinate if stored properly. So I'm glad I found out that some of my favorite tomatoes did end up being able to germinate. So I'll just plant them heavy in the soil or in the germination medium so that they will get a good germination rate. But I appreciate you guys following along on this one. Hope you learned a little something of what to do and what not to do. And I appreciate any likes, comments, or questions, anything you want to put down below. And just give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. And we appreciate you following along. Have a blessed day.